First, let's learn about strings. Strings are any sequence of characters that is either in double quotation or single quotation. So if I type in print bracket double quotation mark hello world, close my double quotation mark and the bracket, save my file and run my program, python 3, the name of my file, I can see that the hello world has been printed. Print will simply take the input and displays it as the output. I could have also done print single quotation mark another sequence of characters. So if I have typed in, suppose for example, hello from the other side, closed it with a single quotation mark, save my file and run my program again, I can see both of the inputs of print are displayed as the output in the terminal. Now this is fine. What is not fine is if I have done print started with a double quotation mark and wrote my name is cyber matrix, closed it with a single quotation mark, saved my file and printed again, I can see that I get an error message. And my error message says that unterminated string literal. It means that my Python was expecting to finish this line with a double quotation. So the line has not been terminated. So please do remember that if you start with a double quotation, you have to end it with a double quotation. If you start with a single quotation, you have to end it with a single quotation. Also, you could have done like this too. If you put single quotation inside the double quotation and print the file, you can see that the single quotation will be printed inside the double quotation. Also, if you have done vice versa, and print your file, that you can see that the double quotation right now has been printed inside the single quotation. I will give another example, which is if I had typed in starting double quotation and ending double quotation, I had typed in my name is cyber matrix, I am a noob, saved my file and clear my screen and run my program again. Sorry, not this one. I can see I get an error message again. Why? Because I started with a double quotation mark, I wrote my name is cybermatrix and I gave another double quotation mark. So Python is taking this as one string and it does not know what to do with the next part of the characters that I wrote because I did not give any quotation marks here. So that's why it threw me the error message. What I could have done is I could have used a backslash in my keyboard. So what backslash does is backslash escapes the next character. The next character of backslash will be escaped and backslash will give it a special treatment. Backslash will tell the Python code that please do not interpret this line as it is. Please give special preference to this line. And I can also put the backslash here. And now if I save my file and run my code, I can see that the double quotation mark has been printed inside the double quotation. Now you can 100% do this, but in my opinion, it is better to do single quotation, then double quotation, and then single quotation for the user readability of the code, because this looks much more simpler than adding the backslash sign. Speaking about the user readability of the code, for example, you wrote a complex algorithm or simply a very long code with lots of functions in it, and you send that code to your team members. Your team members might not be able to understand the logic behind that code. So for that reason, we are gonna make an internal documentation in our code. Or also another example would be, suppose if you wrote a code 3 years ago, When you go back to the code, you should be able to easily understand that code. That's why we can add our internal documentation in Python by giving the hashtag sign. Anything you write in the hashtag has no implication in the program itself. This is for your own internal documentation only. So I will write, this is for my internal documentation. I can also add a hashtag after each line, like this line states my name. If I save this code and run my program, I can see that this line is not printed and it has no implication on the program itself. So hopefully you understand what is the hashtag for. This is for only comment. Hashtag is for only comment. Now let's talk about how can we print multiple lines together. So you have already seen that I have already printed multiple lines. But what if I had a huge essay here with hundreds of lines? Would it have been smart to print each of the line like this? No, right? So what we can do in that scenario is we can type double quotation mark 3 times, write whatever we want, and if you want to go to the next line, press enter and you will be in the next line, and write how many ever lines you want and give the double quotation mark again 3 times, close it with a bracket, save the file, and you can see right now that all the lines are printed. I could have done it with single quotation mark too. For example, 3 single quotation marks at the start and 3 single quotation marks at the end. So right now I don't have to print each of the lines separately. There is another way of doing it. Suppose if you have one really long line and you don't want to do it like this, then you can do is in double quotation, this is a long line, and I will copy and paste this line to make it longer. So right now I have a very long line, and suppose I want to print this line separately. What could I have done is, you remember the backslash, right? I could have used backslash, and the next character after the backslash will be given special treatment. So a special treated character is n. You can see the n is highlighted in a special character. What will this do? I'll clear my screen. If I save my file again and print the code, I can see that n, which stands for next line, told my program to finish this line here, and whatever is there, go to the next line. I will give another example so that you can understand better. I will clear my screen. I'm typing, this is a line. I'll print another string. This is another line. If I run my code, I can see that both of my lines are printed. What do you think would happen if I print backslash in here? What do you think will happen? Let's see. So what's happening right now is the first line got printed. When it came to this print function, we are telling that the line ended, go to the next line. So that's why you're seeing the space here, and there's no space here. So that is how you can print multiple lines in Python. The final thing that we're gonna see is how to combine two strings together. In Python, we can combine two strings, and it is called a concatenation. We can do it by just simply a plus sign. This is another line. This is a part of the first line. Save my file, run my program again, and I can see both of the lines are now combined into one line, which is one string. It will not give any space on its own. There are two ways of giving the space. First, you could have given here, see, the space came. Or you could have also done is plus plus. So I'm saying this string plus add a space plus this string. So these are all the strings that are combined, and now it's printed into one string. Other than the plus sign, you could have also given comma, and it would have done the same thing. So in order to combine multiple strings together in Python, you either do it with plus or comma, and this is called string concatenation.